To my subscribers, welcome back. And if you're new to my channel, thanks for checking out this video. It's meant to be that you're listening to this right now. So last week, we talked about the 8 areas of the tool called the Wheel of Life, which is a super useful tool in helping you kind of zoom out and assess your overall fulfillment across 8 different major areas in life. So I received really good feedback about the tool, and a few of my subscribers actually requested that I delve into a few of the subcategories of both career and the relationship areas. So for today's video, I'm going to focus on the career or profession or trade area. And as mentioned, each of the 8 areas of the big wheel of life have their own little wheels with their own kind of subsections within. But before we get into the 8 career subsections, I wanted to talk about how who you are determines what you do and how you do it. But what you do is not as important as how you do it, and even more important than the what and the how is who you are as you do what you do. So in other words, what statements do you make about yourself when you're working? Think about that. So there's a great quote from Eric Butterworth, who was the author of the renowned book called Discover the Power Within You. In fact, Maya Angelou actually considered Mr. Butterworth one of her greatest teachers. So Mr. Butterworth said, "You can change your job, any job, if you change your attitude about it." So ask yourself these questions. What is your definition of a good job or success at work? And why do you work? If your answer is because you have to because you got to make money and pay the bills, then ask yourself, how might you add fulfillment to your current job? I mean, if you have to work anyway, then you might as well throw in some fulfillment along the way, right? Also, who is the most qualified to be you in your job? Okay, that was a rhetorical question, but think about it. Only you can bring your own unique point of view and style to the job that you do. So without further ado, let's get to the 8 aspects that you might consider when you're thinking about your career, your job, your trade, your profession. So here goes. Number 1, leadership. In other words, in your job, how much do you want or need to set an example for others, including your family watching how you deal with your job? 2, achievement. How much do you want to feel a sense of achievement at work? 3, personal performance. How important is it that you perform at your personal best on the job? Number 4, vision. Does your work align with your overall career vision? Or to what extent can it be considered a stepping stone toward your longer term vision? 5, fulfillment. How important is it that you feel you're making a difference in the work you do, both for others and for yourself? 6, self-expression. How much can you express your own unique style and voice at your work? In other words, to what extent do you feel that you can be you, the real you at work? 7, organization. How organized do you feel at work? Or might you be able to organize things a little bit better to make things run more smoothly? And finally, 8, excellence. How much does your place of work emphasize striving for excellence? How important is that to you? So just like we did last week, take a moment, rate it on a scale from 1 to 10, 1 being the worst, 10 being the best, of how work is stacking up in each of those areas. And again, just like last week, once you've rated each area, I suggest first looking at the areas where you scored more than a 6 and be thankful for your blessings and celebrate those areas of your job. Sometimes, we just kind of forget to step back and really appreciate the little or big things we have. Next, take a look at the areas that scored less than a 7 and ask yourself what the root cause of each of those scores might be, and how might you take one small step to improve that particular score. However, if there are more than 3 areas with a score of 6 or lower, then you'll want to prioritize which of those areas in your job is most important to you. Remember, some of you might feel perfectly fine not having a high score in certain of those areas, based on your own priorities and values, and that's fine. So that's all for this week. Next Thursday, I plan to cover the 8 aspects of the relationship wheel of life based on a special subscriber's request. So please feel free to comment and request any other areas of the overall wheel of life, which I covered on my February 4th video, that you'd like to delve into more, and I'll be sure to plan it in a future video. So thank you for listening. I wish you peace, love, and joy. And as always, keep the faith and let your light shine.